Good morning, everyone. It's quite early in the morning, but I'm really excited because my birthday is just around the corner. So I planned to make a small birthday treat. In particular, I plan to spend the next 2 days exploring and discovering the deeper corners of Laguna. In particular, there's one municipality there that's intrigued me for some time now. It's called Kalayaan, or Freedom in English. And our first leg of this journey will be to visit a really old church there called San Juan Bautista. We'll talk more about it on the road. So, Kalayaan is 110 kilometers to the south of Metro Manila. So right now we're running through South Luzon Expressway, which runs at the western side of Laguna Lake, and then we'll exit at Calamba exit, which is at the end of this highway. When we exit this highway, we'll skirt left towards the southern part of Laguna Lake and run through the provincial road, move up a bit slightly to the southeastern part of Laguna Lake, and there we'll hit Kalayaan. Kalayaan is actually rectangular shaped and it runs from west to east. So in its western part would be the shores of Laguna Lake, and its east and on its eastern side is a mountainous area. Well, everyone, we've arrived. So this here is San Juan Bautista Church. So there are a lot of churches here in the Philippines that are not only old, but actually have strong links to the history of the Philippines. And either that or have interesting architectural stories behind them. The thing about this church is that I did some research before coming over here and I couldn't find any story or history behind it. All I know is that the Franciscan missionaries built this church in 1669, so it's quite old, and that there was actually a convent here. And unfortunately now what's left are the remnants of its glorious past. Let's take a closer look at how this church looks like now. Let's first go see the area where the convent used to be. By the way, if you can see this here, right here, this is like the remnants of an ark, right here, and they had to prop it up because it seems like the stone is about to fall already. But that's it. It ends right there. So I imagine that this area here used to be a doorway. There used to be a full ark here, which probably led to the convent. So to the right of the church is a really, really old and large tree here. Let me show it to you. So here's this really, really large tree. And below the tree right here, you can see here, these are the remnants of the old convent. And so this is what's left. Just these old structures right here. And even this church building, you can see that what really remains from the old structure is just really the facade and the bottom part right here. And it seems like the old stones stop here, and right up here, these are new stones already. So I also read that when Typhoon Milenio, which was a really strong typhoon, hit the Philippines in 2006, it also caused significant damage to this church. Unfortunately, it seems like they did not have enough funds to restore this church, and even the roof, it's now really just made out of galvanized iron sheets, if you can see here. So it looks like that this bell tower is made out of red bricks right here. And again, do you see that window right there? It seems like they were not able to restore the church to how it looked like before, because they really just placed hollow blocks to cover it. So you see here that the foundations of the church are what remained from the old structure, including this doorway right here. And once again, you have there the foundations, and then the bell tower. That's what remains from the church. Let's see how the church looks like from the inside. So this is a really old entrance. The stones here look really old. Reminds me of Intramuros. So let me just zoom into the roof. There you can see it's really just made out of galvanized iron sheets. So it looks like they did not have enough funds to restore the ceiling of this wonderful historic church. Okay, so to the left side of the church, or right before you pass through the gate of the church, you will pass by the municipal hall or the barangay hall, which is this green building right here. Okay. And right in front of the barangay hall is a statue of Jose Rizal, which is dated 1917. So, the interesting history behind this municipality of Kalayaan is the fact that it used to be composed of 3 settlements. The first one is the settlement where we are now, and it used to be called Babaye because when the Spaniards arrived in 1577, they actually saw women washing clothes by the brook, and that's why they called the settlement here Babaye. As they went deeper, they then saw people drying abaca, and so they called that place Abacao. And finally, as they passed that settlement and moved deeper, they came across another settlement and dedicated it to San Pablo, and thus they called that settlement San Pablo. And these 3 settlements eventually became towns. Babaye was renamed to Longos, where we are right now, and that green building behind me back there that we saw is the barangay hall of Longos. Abacao became San Juan, and San Pablo became San Antonio. And when the Americans arrived in 1946, they felt that there were too many towns in Laguna, and so they started combining towns, right? And so the 3 towns of Longos, San Juan, and San Antonio were combined to form the municipality of Longos. Then, in 1956, they changed the name of the municipality of Longos to Kalayaan. So that name stayed with this area, with this place, up to now. So that's the history behind this place. And each town used to have its own church, its own cemetery, and its own municipal hall. So what we have here behind me is the old structure of the old church of Longos, and then beside it, before you enter the compound of the church, is the area where the old municipal building stood. So that area there used to be the old municipal building of Longos. Right now, it's a new building. It's colored green, and it's the barangay hall of the town of Longos.